Remember when William Haines was a massive movie star but lost everything when he refused to deny his sexuality? I do. It was 1933. King Kong premiered in theaters. Eggs cost 29 cents, which would be roughly $7.17 today. Western Union launched the singing telegram, and 33-year-old William Haines was one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Charles William Billy Haines was born in Stanton, Virginia at the turn of the 20th century. Oh, the 1900s. What a time. He spent his childhood watching silent films, and at the age of 14 ran away with another boy who he referred to as his boyfriend. Billy's family frantically searched for him, eventually finding him in the town of Hopewell. He refused to come home and ended up leaving Hopewell for New York City in 1915. He did return to Virginia a year later to support his family through some troubling times, but returned to the city that never sleeps in 1919. He moved to Greenwich Village, where he kept the company of older women and eventually became a model. It was through his modeling that he was discovered by a talent scout who signed him to Goldwyn Pictures. It was the New Faces of 1922 contest that brought Billy to Hollywood. Upon arriving in the City of Angels, Billy signed a contract with Goldwyn for $40 a week. That would be around 765 doll hairs today. He worked steadily for a few years, taking small parts, but in 1924 he landed his breakout role in The Midnight Express. The following year he starred in Little Annie Rooney alongside Canadian megastar Mary Pickford. He continued to level up his stardom throughout the 1920s, and by 1927 there were only 7 MGM Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer stars who had their name above the title of their movies, and Billy was one of them. And he did that all well in a relationship with Jimmy Shields. Billy and Jimmy met while Billy was on a publicity trip to New York in 1926. While it's not known exactly how the pair met, some suspect that Jimmy might have been down on his luck and was exercising his entrepreneurial spirit. Billy convinced Jimmy to return to LA with him, and he ended up getting Jimmy work as an extra and at times as Billy's own stand-in. The pair moved in together and fell very much in love. The Roaring Twenties had served as a time of hedonism in Hollywood for all and kept the studio fixers quite busy greasing the palms of the press, especially in the case of Billy, whose sexuality was kept under wraps from the public. But as the world entered a new decade, American sentiment was still aligned with the conservative values that had driven the Prohibition era. While Hollywood had mostly managed to dodge the restriction of the tipple, studios started cracking down by the mid-1930s and were implementing production codes that were driven by puritanical moral standards. This did not bode well for Billy, especially after he was arrested in 1933 at a YMCA for canoodling with a sailor in Pershing Square. With rumors flying around about Billy's sexuality, MGM head Louis B. Mayer dragged Billy into his office and issued him an ultimatum. Enter a Lavender Marriage or you're done. It's alleged that Joan Crawford had been nominated as a tribute for that marriage. Billy refused, telling Mayer, "I'm already married. I'll be glad to give him up just as soon as you give up your wife." Louis ripped up Billy's contract on the spot and kicked him out of the studio. Well, Billy managed to pick up a few small roles after. He ended up leaving the acting world behind and decided to explore his lifelong love of antiques instead. He started decorating the Hollywood homes of his friends, like that of potential wife Joan Crawford. I am certain that there was nary a wire hanger in sight. Soon, Billy became the interior designer for Hollywood and was dubbed the King of Hollywood Regency. He even decorated the home of Nancy Reagan, and after his passing, the Reagans had his design associate Ted Graber decorate some of their own private rooms in the White House. Billy continued to grow his business and lived his life with Jimmy without shame. Joan even called them the happiest married couple in Hollywood. His close friend Douglas Fairbanks Jr. had said of Billy that he is embarrassingly frank in everything that he does. He carries about him no inhibitions as to convention or precedence and does what he damn well pleases, either because he wants to or because he thinks it is right. He is candid to a fault. He is the life of every party, its most likable fool, and at the same time its most profound philosopher. And while that candidness allowed Billy to live his truth, it wasn't without difficulty. In 1936, he and Jimmy were severely beaten at their home in Manhattan Beach by a group of 100 men who accused them of being inappropriate with children. The perpetrators were never caught, but their accusations against the couple were never founded either. Unfortunately, Billy was diagnosed with lung cancer in the summer of 1973. He was admitted to the hospital at the end of the year and passed away on December 26th with Jimmy by his side. He was 73 years old. Jimmy and Billy had been together for 47 years, and without his partner, Jimmy struggled. On March 6, 1974, Jimmy decided to leave this mortal plane on his own terms. His note read, "Goodbye to all of you who have tried so hard to comfort me in my loss of William Haines, whom I have been with since 1926. I now find it impossible to go it alone. I am much too lonely." Billy and Jimmy were laid to rest peacefully together for eternity in Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery in Santa Monica. While Billy may have left acting behind, he was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. And while some would like to believe that the Walk of Fame is a scam, I believe that fewer stars are more deserved than the one given to William Haines. Now, I decided to wrap up our mini-series about lavender marriages with Billy because he opted not to cave under the pressure of Hollywood and society's harmful views regarding his sexuality, and he did pay dearly for it. He lost everything he had worked for and had to start anew. I think Billy serves as a reminder that living your truth can be incredibly difficult and terrifying and, at times, even dangerous. But it can also present new opportunity and can afford you a community that will always have your back. And please know that here, you have a community that will always have your back. I really hope you enjoyed this series within a series. If you did, please save and share it with your friends. It really does help spread the good word. Don't forget to follow me on the tube and the gram just in case. And we also have stickers, pins, and bookmarks, including this one to remind you that your cult leader loves you. Because I do. Good day, and may the cult be with you.